Hello? Hello, hello? Hello, people? How is everyone doing? Hello? Oh God, I'm showing you all my secrets. How's everybody doing? Hello, ah ha 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 ha. Hello, Mr. Buggy. Hello, Kokoro Kinie. Sorry. It's my 21st birthday today. Happy birthday. Hello, Yoshina Nakazawa. How you doing? Hello, everyone. Sorry, we're gonna get started soon. Hold on. Now, question. I've already seen the live stream, but I didn't know if you guys wanted to watch it. Otherwise, I was going to just jump straight into the discussion stuff because we have a lot to dissect. Hello, Yukina. Hello, Luna Creativix. Goodness. Hello, M. How you doing? We have a lot to discuss. So I didn't know if you guys wanted to rewatch the special program because I've already watched it. I watched it this morning. But yeah, otherwise we can go straight to analyzing the trailer itself because it's extremely interesting. The beginning of that live stream, I know it was crazy. Hello, Nick, how you doing? Hello, DXVidFX, how you doing? Hello, Contra, how you doing? Yeah, the trailer is lore packed, actually. Yes, it is absolutely insane. So actually, we'll just, because I've already seen the live stream. Unless you guys want to watch it, I'm just going to watch the trailer with you guys. And yeah, and we can just begin on that. Hang on one second. Where is my chat screen on OBS? Why can't I see it? Chat. There. Whoa. What is this? And why is it so fucking wide? Hello, Kawaii Beans. How you doing? Wait. How do I get this? I'm sorry, I'm doing like technological things right now. Okay, there we go. Please, the pronouncing, I'm crying. Oh, like the pronunciation of Ruka Devata or something. Yeah. Hello, Yuzuki-sama. How you doing? Hello, Dado. How you doing? I was like, oh, they pronounced it the way I did, but I got some corrections in the chat, or not the chat, in comments of my Sumero video. They were like, no, that's not how you pronounce it. I'm like, oh my God, I'm sorry. I don't know. I couldn't find any like people talking about it. Ruka Devata. They be pronouncing it Ruka Devata or whatever. Feeling great after watching the live stream. I know, it was so good. So good. Okay. And actually, y'all, this might become a YouTube video because trailer analysis. Yeah, I might upload that, but we might just do it on stream because why not, right? So yeah, let's just get into watching the trailer. We're gonna be pausing a lot during it. So hey, Lloyd Kai, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. So hello, Tizai, Baya Akamatsu. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Reading is hard for me. Don't worry. Don't worry about it. How you doing, Bakasta? How you doing? Hi yo. How you doing, everybody? So yeah, just gonna start the trailer. We're not gonna watch the live stream itself. So if you haven't seen it yet, go watch that before this stream. Oh, happy late birthday then. Happy late birthday, Tizai. Hello, Julian. How you doing? Welcome to the stream, y'all. So, this line right here. Have you heard of Irminsul before? Oh gosh. Okay. Let me know if I need to turn up the audio as well. I think you guys should hear it, but yeah, we'll see. Let's just jump right into this, y'all. Let's just jump right into this. Hello, Gian. How you doing?
Have you heard of Irminsul before?
Irminsul.
The Dendro Archon is known as the God of Wisdom because her consciousness is directly connected to it.
All right, we're gonna pause already. We're gonna pause already. So, a lot to unpack there. First of all, let's actually talk about this tree. So it's been confirmed as an Irminsul, like the silver white trees that you see in domains, the silver white tree that's in the abyss, the silver white tree that I think is connected to the Moon Sisters and Istaroth, the god of time, since ley lines control time, etc., etc. So, remember, in my Sumero video, I talked about how Kusanali might be connected to the Moon Sisters. She called herself the Moon in the promotional video. She called herself straight up the Moon. Of course, that was, probably a metaphor for something, but I also think it was kind of referencing a connection to the Moon. To hear that Kusanali's consciousness is linked to the Irminsul tree, and the Irminsul tree is really why she has the title of God of Wisdom, is just very, very interesting. Right, and the sun is long gone, which I think that might be a reference to Phanes, like, beyond the metaphor I'm saying, and the primordial one and their fate of probably being overthrown by Celestia. But other than that, I do agree with other people who were saying, I think that her being the moon just means that she is a reflection of the original god of wisdom, Rukkhadevata. I'm sorry, I'm going to mispronounce that like crazy, but yeah. And in my Sumero video, I said that Kusanali basically is an offshoot of Rukkhadevata. And I really do think that that's the case, but we'll see as we play through the Archon quest, because I believe in the live stream they said the Archon quests are going to take 3 patches, so 3.0, 3.1, and 3.2 will be the full Sumero Archon quests, so... Oh wait, let me read some comments. The only reason I watched the stream in the morning was because I knew you were streaming and wanted to catch this. Yes, good job, yes. Okay, Contra, the audio is nice, great. Nick, holy hell, I didn't know Irminsul was that tree giving us crappy artifact stats. Yeah, those are all Irminsul trees. All of those are Irminsul trees, but this one is super big. Albedo told us that Irminsul trees get up to be like miles high, so it's interesting that we're finally seeing a gigantic one. Also, for my Honkai Impact players, you guys know, or this tree should look very familiar, because design-wise, it's extremely similar to the tree, the imaginary tree, especially the one that they showed in Thus Spoke Apocalypse, which was the whole animation about Otto trying to save Colin or create a new timeline for her where she exists and is alive or whatever. You guys know that. So I think it's extremely interesting. And yes, Luna, this is the same tree that Dottore sets on fire. This is the same tree that you see Ether standing in front of in the promotional video that's burning. However, that's interesting because, and you'll notice throughout the trailer, but did you notice there is a lack of Fatui presence? It seems like the first couple of Archon quests are going to be more focused on the Abyss Order, which is actually kind of surprising to me, because I expected the Fatui to be like the main villains, but it seems like the Abyss Order has something to do with Sumero, but we'll talk about that in a second. Yep, 3.0 has 2 acts. Yeah, that's what I thought. Oh, this also gives us even more reason the Akasha system, how do they pronounce it? But we'll see in a second, is like, or connected to the ley lines. Right, it's likely this is how the sages of Sumero set up the system. The Akasha system probably accesses the ley lines in some way, which is how they get their knowledge. I still think there probably will be some sort of caste system, because I think it's interesting that, like we thought, anyone with the little, what do they call it? The little piece thing that allows you to access the system can access it, but I still think that certain knowledge is probably censored or reserved for only specific individuals. But we will see. Is it like the master ley line? What do you mean by master ley line? Yes, we see a lector, but no Fatui. Right, yeah, it's so curious. Gian, it looks a little like both the imaginary tree and the tree in the Sea of Quanta that Kevin stands under when he reminisces Sakura. Yes, so it does kind of look like that too. If you haven't seen it, hold on, maybe I can pull up a picture. Or maybe not. No, we're not going to do that right now. But yeah, very interesting. Bakasta, Mondstadt was like a mix of Fatui and the Abyss Order. Yeah, so the same thing is probably going to happen in Sumero. And right era, there was like no Dottore in sight. So I think that the burning shit with the Fatui is probably going to be in like the last Archon quest, which I believe will be the truth beyond the pages of Piranha or whatever the frick it's called. Whatever the title was that was given in the Travail trailer. So yeah, I think that will be Act 3, and that's where the Fatui are gonna show up. Hi Spidey, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Mondstadt had Abyss more, but Liu and Inazuma had Fatui more. Right. Which is funny. I think Mondstadt will have more of a Fatui presence later on. And technically it already did, especially in the manga and the comic. How canon is the comic? So far, it seems like the comic is pretty canon because certain things from the comic have made their way into the game. Like Kale, she is 100% from the comic, and it looks like the relationship she had with Amber and her story from the comic is going to carry over into the game. I believe the vase that Kaya gave to Diluc that had his vision in it, you can find that in Diluc's manor. So I think it's like 100% canon. I think the comic is 100% canon. Yeah, the Genshin webtoon is canon. Yeah, it is 100%. At least that's what I believe. Okay, so you know that Inazuma has the same kind of story where the Fatui appeared later on. In the first 2.0 quest, it was only Inazuma focused story. Right, yeah, so that's probably what they're going for here. But I'm actually super excited that the Abyss Order like really seems to have some focus here. And as you'll see in the trailer, there are very interesting things going on. So why don't we just continue?
The Dendro Archon is known as the God of Wisdom because her consciousness is directly connected to it.
To the people of Sumero, she's not only a symbol of wisdom, but also of power and kindness. Unfortunately, she disappeared in a great calamity a few hundred years ago.
Okay. So, sorry, like I said, I'm going to be pausing a lot. So this is going back to Kusanali's age and everything. We already knew she was 500 years old, right? Which means that she was born at some point either during the Cataclysm, slightly before it, or slightly after, but it seems like she was born immediately, like during the Cataclysm itself. Because from the perspective of Sumero, the original Archon, Rukadewada, or however you pronounce it, I'm sorry, she disappeared. And they have no idea where she went, because that's going to be a whole thing. There's a whole faction that seems to think that Rukadewada is somewhere out there and they do not like Kusanali, but I feel like that's copium. She's probably gone, y'all. She's probably dead. She's gone. But and we'll talk about that later, but I do think it's interesting that we finally got confirmation that Kusanali is in fact 500 years old, was born during the Cataclysm, and that Sumero, I'm guessing the scholars or whoever, brought the newly born Kusanali back to Sumero. Yes. Okay, so Dottore will probably show up somewhere later on, like 3.2. Yeah, I agree with that. Probably around 3.2 or 3.1, something like that. I wonder when Scaramouche will appear. I'm hoping he appears somewhere in between that. But we do have a lot to cover with Sumero as far as that is concerned, and Scaramouche isn't exactly related to Sumero. Like I said, he might come to Sumero for something, to learn more about maybe what he learned from the Gnosis that he has, or I don't know what he's doing or where he is. But I do think, like I said in the Fatui Harbingers video, that Scaramouche's story will end in Inazuma. So we'll see. But I think, yes, Arabian Nights. Hello, Bat Person. Hello, Mugda Shiro. I'm sorry, I mispronounced that. Oh, I already read your comment, though. Yes, Arabian Nights. I love the music. It is so good. Violet Oracle, I think the person they're talking about initially that's connected to Irminsul is the Greater Lord. Are you sure? I mean, it's possible, yeah. But I do also think Kusanali probably has a connection to the Irminsul itself, especially if she is an offshoot of the Greater Lord. But we will see. I mean, that would make sense too, that they were talking about Rukkhadevata or Rukkhadevata. Honestly, I find the sages kind of suspicious. They are 100% suspicious because they were the ones that made the Akasha system and like repurposed it. I believe during the live stream, that is what they said, the developers. The sages repurposed the system. And my big question is why? What were their intentions behind doing this? And we see a dude in this trailer who looks very suspicious. And it's probably part of that faction I was talking about that might not like Kusanali, but we'll see. They're the same as us Senora mains. Maybe Nahida is Kusanali and she said she is the moon and the sun was long ago because the sun was the past Dendro Archon. Yeah. So I did talk about that earlier, but I do think there's more to that than just, you know, her being the offshoot of the past Dendro Archon. Like I said, they are like Genshin is very good about using metaphors and frame stories. So there's something deeper behind what they're actually saying. And I think in this case, that may have slightly been a reference to a couple of people that I've talked about before. But that is a whole other can of worms, and we're not going to talk about that right now. I would be very shocked if Scaramouche doesn't appear in Sumero. Yeah, I think he will. I hope he does. Luna, I think by burning the tree, Dottore might be trying to draw out Kusanali like what Child did in Liyue. Yeah, so I think that's the case. I'm sure you guys have seen the whole Dendro Slime theory thing about burning a Dendro Slime gets it to come out of the ground. That might be what they're trying to do with Kusanali. But that is the question, like, where is Kusanali during all of this? And it makes me wonder how invested she actually is in Sumero, because right now it doesn't seem like she does much governing, especially since she's like a newly born god. So I feel like the sages are probably taking advantage of her youth, her ignorance, so to speak, and they probably have been doing that for 500 years, but we'll see. Potatoes, who are the sages Piero talks about? So I think there are two different sages that he might have been referring to. One are the sages of Conria, the ones who basically were the reason that Conria got destroyed because their lust for whatever they were doing, their lust for knowledge, whatever the fuck they were doing, got Conria destroyed. And I also think Piero is talking about the sages of Sumero because honestly, you could parallel the sages of Sumero with Conria. Sumero might be heading towards destiny that Conria once faced, especially with this uninhibited erudition that's constantly talked about. Like, knowledge is not a good thing in Genshin, and the gods are very protective over what kind of information people can know. Nahida feels lesser than the previous Archon or like not good enough. Yeah, so that is also an interesting feeling that the trailer gives you, that there's just, like, there are people that look down on her, and even her title as Lesser Lord could be looked at as kind of an insult. It seems like she's just not really respected by certain people in Sumero. That clearly they don't view her as their actual god, and some of them actually view the original Dendro Archon as still being alive in some sort of way. But again, she probably gone, so whatever. This is gonna be very interesting. Violet Oracle, it's more so because they say that she had a connection and then disappeared 500 years ago. So that kind of lines up with the Greater Lord more so than Kusa. So the thing I want people to keep in mind about this trailer and things that they've done with trailers in the past, the audio doesn't necessarily go with the visuals. So sometimes they'll be saying something that had absolutely nothing to do with how they presented it in the trailer, but I do kind of agree with you that I do think that Kusanali probably has a connection to the tree. As well as the original greater lord or whatever they call her. But I think both of them probably have some sort of connection to the tree. But even then, it wasn't quite clear which one they were talking about. But again, I think at the same time, I kind of don't think it matters. Both of them probably have a connection to the tree. Brent, it's also possible that the two Dendro Archons are more connected with each other besides them sharing an element. Right. So I think that Kusanali is an offshoot of the original Archon, Dendro Archon, but we'll see. Fontaine is the next region, right? Yes, after Sumero. Yeah. I do wish we'd get an Archon who is really involved with their people. Yeah, because it doesn't seem like Nahida will be. But it just seems like there's a detachment from gods and humanity, archons and humanity, and the relationship that they have with their people. And I don't know if that's going to like improve or anything. I don't know if we're gonna get an archon that's like actively interacting with her people. I mean, A kind of did that. The Raiden Shogun kind of did that way more than Venti and I guess Zhongli directly interacted with their people, but yeah. They mostly like used code names and aliases to interact with their people versus A like directly interacting with their people. If that makes any sense. I don't think that made any sense. Luna, I wonder if Lisa will come to Sumero with us this patch. I don't know if she will. She might like direct us to Sumero, but I don't know if she'll actually come with us. I mean, I hope she does. I hope she pops up at some point during the Archon quest. Nail treatment. Oh gosh. Wouldn't Kusanali technically be the weakest Archon due to how some people want the original Archon back, or am I missing something? So, I mean, they told us that Venti is technically the weakest, though I have a sneaking suspicion he's not, but we'll see. But if we do believe them when they said that, then Kusanali would be more powerful than Venti. We'll just have to see. I wonder if Gold is one of the sages. I don't know if she's one of the sages, but I wonder if she has been to Sumero before. Spidey, yeah, in the live stream, they said that Sumero people don't know anything about the Lesser Lord. Maybe that means they don't believe in her or something. Maybe that's why Nahida may be upset. Yeah. Yeah, who knows? But I get the feeling that there are people who don't like her in Sumero. Yeah. Do you think we'll get more Celestia lore drops in Sumero? Oh, 100%, yeah. 100%, yeah. I will be surprised if we don't learn more about Celestia and such. Yeah, who knows? This is a little inconsequential, but do you think any of the previous Archons were male since all the other current ones and both Makoto and Rukudawada were all female? I don't know. So here's the thing. There's Baiju, right? There's Baiju, and a lot of people, or I should say there's a theory going around that he was the original Dendro Archon, but now that theory is put into question because we've gotten confirmation that someone else was the original Dendro Archon. That being said, remember how I said in the Fatui Harbinger video that the Sun Children of Enkanomiya were being used as a frame story for the Archons? So one of those Sun Children was like a doctor, a boy who was sick, blah, 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 blah. And that kind of parallels with the lore of the Viridescent Venerer, I think that's how you pronounce her name, or whatever, who finds like a boy who's sick or whatever in the woods. And this is like during or after the Cataclysm. And people think that this boy was probably Baiju. He has the theme of being a doctor. We don't know if he's sick or not, but and I think there are also other connections that people have made to like who Baiju is based off of in terms of real life connections. I personally haven't looked into it, so I'm not the person to go to for that. But I think there's a chance that Baiju might be connected to the Archon, to the Dendro Archon. And I think we'll be surprised, perhaps on what his connection might be to her. All I'm gonna say, it's just interesting that even though Sumero is debuting, Baiju still isn't available as a character, and I find that to be incredibly suspicious. Like, incredibly suspicious. Maybe it's not suspicious, and maybe they won't be going for, you know, doing anything with Baiju as far as that is concerned, but... And I believe, for the Jakata tales, like, the Kusanali's Jakata tale, isn't there, like, something about her having children? Something like that? I don't know. Y'all, I don't know. I'm not going to speculate on that. We'll just have to see. But I don't know if any of the Archons remaining are going to be male. Seems like they're all female. Please elaborate your speculation about Venti not being the weakest. Girl, that's a whole other can of worms. We're going to leave that for another day. The sages also seem to control information related to Nahida, as almost none of the people know much about her. But it sounds like well, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It seems like most people probably don't know about her as far as her true identity. There might be certain people who do, but who knows? Hello, Maria. Welcome to the stream. Is there a chance we could see gold in Sumero? I have no idea. I swear if you ask anyone about how they understand Genshin's story or lore, they will always have separate answers. Right. Everybody has different opinions and different perspectives, which is a good thing. So yeah. Yeah, previous was a her. So that theory about Baiju being the Dendro Archon is like put into question. Also, Sumero being the knowledge region means that we will get a lot of info about the lore, but I bet it will be very well hidden. Yeah. So that temple, that hourglass-shaped temple, and then the Egyptian-themed temple, I want people to really pay attention because I feel like there are going to be a lot of sun motifs in those temples. Mostly because I've already talked about Isis a little bit, the goddess who I think is connected to Istaroth and the Moon Sisters. But there is a very famous story about Isis and Osiris is very similar to Phanes. But yeah, we'll talk about that later. And I think Dionysus is literally the Greek equivalent for Osiris, if I'm not mistaken. So, we're going to talk about that soon, but pay very close attention to Sumero because we're going to get a lot of Celestia lore, Primordial One lore, Moon Sister lore. That's what I believe. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, Baiju is probably sick because Chi-Chi said that her physical condition was way better than Baiju's. Yeah. So maybe, but I don't know what Baiju is, y'all. He confuses me. He confuses me. Like one of the lines Nahida said in 2D promotional video, everything in this world runs in a loop. Yeah, so that goes back to like the cataclysm of 500 years ago with Conria. I'm going to tell you right now, that isn't the first time that's probably happened. Not necessarily that civilizations have been destroyed, but I mean like a cataclysm that almost destroyed Teyvat. That probably happened with the Moon Sisters and their whole shtick, because we're told that a great calamity happened when they were allegedly murdered. But yeah, like everything seems to run on a loop. Like everything just cyclically happens, and whether that means there's a time loop or things just happen over and over, who knows? But yeah. And I did see a lot of people saying like time loop stuff, and even I think I tweeted that out too, but then I was like, well, they didn't technically say time loop, they just said loop. So Baiju be looking like Pantalone though. Yeah. Yeah, he does be looking like Pantalone a little bit. I heard some theories about that too, but I'm like, I don't know if there's any connection, but we'll see. I think Baiju and Yao Yao might just be being held for Lantern Rite. That might be the case too. Yeah. That would make sense. And I can see them being released alongside Zhao, because Zhao is usually released during Lantern Rite as well. Or like, because the Akasha system is like, oh, lag. Oh no. Oh no. Hello? 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 Oh God. Okay, we're good now? Okay, we're good. Okay. Okay, good. How much of that did you miss? We stopped hearing when you said something about Zhao and Lantern Right. Oh, okay, yeah. So I think I think Zhao and Baiju and Yao Yao, they might be released all during Lantern Right. Yeah, that's a good idea. And yeah, it's possible that Baiju is older than he appears, thanks to Chongqing. Again, I don't know. He's just so confusing. He's so confusing. Luna, do you think Kusanali will give away her gnosis willingly like Zhongli? No. I don't know. I don't even know if she has it because of the Akasha system. Like, the sages were the ones who made that system, and the system operates via the gnosis. So I'm almost thinking that she may not have the gnosis at all, but we'll see. We will see. I think that there's been no less than 3 to 4 distinct eras of Tevat. Yeah. We'll see. Like, it's all cyclical. It's all cyclical. And we'll see that it'll become even more important as we continue into the main story. I like to think that Pantalone is just Baiju's dark magical girl transformation. Oh God. Yeah. I have no idea if they have any connection, but they do look similar. Spidey, where him and Makoto made a deal to save Inazuma and the world by planting the sacred Sakura tree and all of the Archons attacked Conria. Wait, what? Wait, it'd be so funny if Baiju was just some normal guy. Yeah. Hello, Belladonna. How you doing? Belsadonna, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Potato, so can normal people access the power of Gnosis for sages to be able to build the system upon it? Maybe. I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure. A DJ, I feel that it would be too bland if the Fatui end up getting the Gnosis every time. Yeah, but I think that's ultimately what they're gonna go for, because we do want to see that Saritsa's plan come to fruition, don't we? I do. I kind of want her to get all the Gnosis, because I want to see what she's gonna do with them. Like, what is she going to do with them? I have no idea. But yeah, it might be too bland. I think if they work towards getting the Gnosis in different ways, like if there's a struggle, if they keep it, they just need to keep it fresh, like how they get the Gnosis each time. They just need to keep it fresh. I was writing about a theory, but there was a limit, so I typed 2 comments. Oh, okay. I think there's probably levels of access to the Akasha system, depending on whether you're a traveler or a member of the academia or something. Yeah. Who knows? I do feel like there's probably some sort of caste system that's involved with it, but we'll see. If anyone could access the system's full power, the sages would be in big doo-doo. Yeah. Okay, anyway, sorry. Wow, I rambled for a little bit. Let's continue with this trailer.
Sages later found the newly born Dendro Archon and whisked her back to Sumero.
It's Lesser Lord Kusanali's birthday. Nilu's Dance of Sabzerus is about to begin. The most important performance at the Sabzerus Festival.
The goddess of flowers began to dance. Countless beautiful Padisars began to bloom wherever she stepped.
Okay, the Sabzerus Festival, or whatever it's called. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. So I don't know if you guys remembered, but I think they've mentioned this festival before. I think the dude in the Mondstadt library mentions it. Or it might have been mentioned by one of the many NPCs that we've gotten over specific events where there are Sumero NPCs involved. But it's supposed to be celebrating Kusanali's birthday, right? That's what they say in this trailer. And I don't know, there was something about her dancing and flowers bloomed when she did it. I don't freaking know, y'all. But I think that's interesting. Oh wait, hold on. To be honest, I kind of want the Tsaritsa to get the Gnosis, you know, just to see what would happen. Right, me too. Traveler got new drip with the Orchestra Terminal and the Flower Crown. Oh yeah, the Flower Crown. That was pretty cool. We're going to talk about that later too. And I think he probably gets it during this festival, to be honest. Maybe Nahida gives it to him, who knows. I think the Akasha system is like an ID to access Sumeru's file explorer. Basically. There was an abyss disease which spread to all the world, so Istaroth and Makoto made a plane to plant the sacred tree and raid Conria in a new timeline. Oh. Interesting. I mean, okay. So, we'll talk about an abyss disease in a second because, what did they call the disease thing that's affecting the forests and stuff in Sumero? We'll get to that in a second though, but, yeah, it was the guy during Windbloom, but I'm pretty sure it was like a Sumeru NPC. I wonder how exactly you graduate from the academia. Like, what do you have to do to graduate? It seems, yes, the Withering. Thank you, the Withering. Yeah, we'll talk about the Withering later. What do you have to do to graduate? It seems like it's hard to graduate. Like, it's really hard, because if you talk to, what's her name? Soraya, I'm probably not pronouncing that right, but I think she's on top of the inn, Wangshu Inn, or however you pronounce it, whatever you call it. And she talks about how she had several different papers that she had submitted and that were all rejected, but she's at the top of her class as well. So it seems like graduating is hard. That one dude whose hair turned gray before he was 30, again, this was a Sumeru NPC. It seems like it's really super hard to graduate. And I feel like there's something more sinister behind that. It's not just competitive. I feel like, I don't know, feel like something sinister's going on, y'all. Corrosion like in Honkai Corruption, like the Hersher of Corruption. Who knows? I feel like they're doing something similar in Tevat, just saying, but we'll talk about that later. I have a theory that the academia just puts scholars into a never-ending loop of doing research and barely any graduate. Yeah, so that's a good point. It seems like it's almost like this whole system of being super hard to graduate is by design, and I don't know why they would do this. One reason is probably, or it might be to discourage certain types of research. Maybe that's what they're doing. I don't know. But who knows? It just seems really sus. Seems really sus. To graduate from the academia, you need a thesis. Yeah, and it seems like a lot of those theses are completely rejected most of the time, which is interesting. The lady in the fertilizer quest too. Yeah, the one you go to like Watatsumi Island with, there's that one whole quest chain with her, as well as the daily commission. Yeah, she talks about that kind of stuff too. Average PhD student. Yep, they're gatekeeping the information and gatekeeping the knowledge. I don't know. If you don't graduate within a couple tries, you get kicked out or something. Yeah, that too. They kick you out if you don't graduate within like a certain amount of tries, which is really interesting. Honestly, it makes me wonder how Lisa graduated. I think maybe she knew too much and they didn't want her at the academia causing trouble. Well, the thing about it is, a lot of people are actually perplexed by Lisa because she was the best student they had ever seen in like 200 years. So it's kind of weird that, you know, she would leave. She was very disillusioned by what she was witnessing in Sumeru. So who knows? Yeah, I don't think they like certain research. And right, because of the Travail line, the goddess of wisdom's enemy is wisdom itself. And wisdom is very dangerous in this world. But anyway, let's continue.
Though we're just tiny people compared to the divine, we still have to do our best to make sure that the birthday girl feels loved on her special day. The stage is going to be even prettier when it's festival time. I can't wait for you to see it. Trainee Forest Major Kale reporting for duty. Hi! Fly!
Okay, can I just say, Kale is super adorable, first of all. Second of all, it just seems like she's not copying off of Amber. It just seems like, I don't know, her relationship with Amber from the comic is respected, and I like that. I'm liking what I'm seeing from her right now. And I'm glad we get a free version of her, like, thank goodness. Because I'm not pulling for Tainari. Are y'all pulling for Tainari? Because I'm not. I'm just waiting. The machine. That machine, though. Dang, Conria people chill. Or is it just... Yeah. We're going to talk about that machine. Because there are like 2 different ruin machines, aren't there? There's one in the desert, and then there's one in the forested region. And we see in this trailer that it's moving, which might have something to do with the Abyss Order's plans, which is interesting. Jizo, in 200 years, so who was the one before Lisa? Something happened to him, her? That's so specific to say in 200 years. Yeah, I don't know who it was, but yeah, they said like that she was the most talented person the Academia had ever seen in like a couple centuries. But I don't know who was the other one. Maybe it was who is that person that's been making Persina. And I believe Persina is involved in that one lore book, The Sage of Hamavaran. I know I'm mispronouncing and butchering all of these names. I'm so sorry. But if you guys remember the events with like Persina's spikes, I think it was, and like the recent ley line stuff in the chasm, I think those inventions were hers. So maybe she was the one who was like super smart or whatever. But it sounds like she's actually still alive. Maybe we'll actually get to see this mystery Persina person or whatever. Yeah, clearing the mud out. I've been interested to hear more about her. She's only been mentioned in like a couple events, and then again that lore book I talked about. But yeah, Kale's vision tassel thing is Amber's headband. I didn't even notice that. That's adorable. Aww. Yeah, she idolized Amber. That's a better word for it. Imagine the Ruin Guard just wakes up and we have to fight it. That would be really cool. We might have to do that. That might be the big monster we have to fight, like we did fight in Liyue. It might be the next Osile. Who knows? Or the Beicht. The next Beicht. Kale is from the free event. Yeah. Not because he's going to standard banner and... Okay. Apparently it's more Tignari. Oh, it's actually more Tignari, not Tainar. Okay. Good. Thank you for the correction. Sino and Dehya. That's another name I'm mispronouncing. After the promotional video, I want to pull for Sino, Dehya, and I'll hype them, however you pronounce it. I'm so sorry for mispronouncing them, but it made me want all 3. My Primo gems are gonna be gone, but I have been saving for a while, so... You love his design. Yeah, his design is pretty good. I mean, I might get it. It depends. I don't know. I'm not a fan of Archer characters much. So we'll see. That's the only reason I'm not pulling for him. He has a cool design, though. You want Sino and Kusanali, that's it until Scaramouche is playable. Yeah. Kusanali is like my main goal. I gotta have her. I'm skipping him because he'll ruin my 50-50 someday, yeah. Kale is indeed very cute. Amber is surely her idol. Saved her life, gave her new meaning in life. Yes. I really want... That's my exception to the Archer rule. I am gonna build Kale just because she's really cool. Oh, makes sense. Is Lisa smarter than Albedo? I have no idea, but Albedo is also perplexed by the fact that Lisa just wants to be a librarian. He thinks that she has way more potential. And that is just very interesting. I want to see more Lisa. I do. Do you think the Desert of Ignorance line from the Travails trailer is a metaphor for growing up, maturing, considering what the giant mushroom in the chasm said? I mean, it might be. It definitely might be. But I think the Desert of Ignorance is actually going to be... has something to do with the sages and the bullshit that they're doing. I don't know. I don't know what the sages are doing. But whatever they've been doing, it's not good. There's another big ruin guard in the desert too. Yeah, there is. So I wonder what they're gonna do with that. Kale and Amber reunion is gonna be heartwarming. Yes. So that's a good point. Like I want Amber, either Amber or Lisa or both of them to take us to Sumero. And then have an interaction with Kale, who then is our guide through Sumero, which I think she will be, but maybe Amber and Lisa can lead us there. That would be cute. Eula and Amber should adopt Kale, yes. I really hope they make the enemies actually difficult to fight, not just give them 200 billion HP and call it a boss fight. So I hope they make it difficult too, because I think a lot of people have been asking for more challenging content. The thing is, I think MiHoYo might have gotten scared after the reaction to how Child was in some of the earlier patches, because he was really hard to beat, apparently, for most people. But I think now that we have more characters that are like, I don't know, that have the potential to be OP, I think they can give us some more challenging fights. Like, I don't know, how did you guys feel about the Raiden Shogun fight? And I mean like the one where she's like the super cool puppet form. Did you guys think that was hard? I thought it was, it was challenging. It was okay. It was good enough, right? It was, the difficulty was fine for that, I think. Tignari contains like 3 sounds in Arabic that don't exist in English. Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna make it my mission to learn all of these names and pronounce them the correct way, but we'll see how well that goes. I have the wonder if what the fuck Conrio was up to make those huge field tillers. Yeah, it seems like they were wanting to wage war. I mean, that's what it's seeming like. So while people are saying like, oh, Conrio was just destroyed for nothing, I mean, it seemed like they were preparing for war. So who knows who made the first shot in the cataclysm, so to speak. I have no idea. But Conria isn't 100% innocent, I don't think. I'm wondering if there's that one F2P player since launch that saved all Primos for Synode, same with the one Aya could do that got hurt. Yeah, there probably is. Absolutely, there probably is a person who did that. I want all Hytham because in JP he's voiced by Umehara Yuichiro. Oh, okay. Interesting. Interesting. Is it just me, or I'm getting anxious in advance about what impact Dendro as an element will have? Yeah, I'm scared, but I don't pay attention to the metagame, so just tell me how to build things and I will do it with what limited resources I have. Lisa's vision story is really interesting to me, to be honest. Like, she just said she would need one and it appeared. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and I think Albedo's might have appeared in like a similar fashion. Not that he like wanted it to appear, but yeah, I think Lisa's, the way she got her vision is so interesting. And it also, like, her story kind of implies, at least from some of the developer things that they've done in the past talking about Lisa, it sounds like she may have gotten some powers before she got her vision, but I'm not quite sure about that. When that was said, it was a long time ago, so I don't know if things have changed, but we'll see. Dude, with that boss fight, yeah, it was a fun boss fight. First time I fought Child, I was having so much fun with it because I was dying so hard. Yeah, it was fun, but like for people, that boss fight was super hard. And then they changed the difficulty and made it like super, like way too easy almost. Raiden was super fun. It wasn't too hard. Yeah, I think the difficulty for that was just right. It was difficult for you, but you managed to beat her first try. Yeah. But I do hope there are more there's more challenging fights to come. Especially with all these characters they're giving us. Onion, have you seen the seed in Sumero trailer and the shriveled seed from the chasm? They look somewhat similar. Wait, what seed in the Sumero trailer? There was a seed? Wait, we're gonna have to watch that. But that is interesting that you mentioned the shriveled seed. I've always been curious about that. Like a lot of people, ever since we went to the chasm and got that thing, I have no idea how it's going to play into anything. It might play into a specific world quest that we have. There might be an extra region. You know how they add on different regions or different parts of regions every patch or so. So maybe it has to do with a world quest for that. Like kind of similar to how that one world quest on Watatsumi Island was necessary for opening up Enkanomiya. So maybe it's something like that, but we'll see. It would be hard if it wasn't for the fact that I am Zhongli Gaming. Yeah. Check out Bwop. Oh my god, Bwop. Has he finally decided to break and spend his primo gems? Because he has been hoarding for a long time. Which upcoming Sumero character are you most excited for? Kusanali. Yep. And then Alhaitham, because Alhaitham is hot. Yeah. Yeah. Pretty much. That's the extent of that. But I do like the cat ear lady, even though those aren't really cat ears. But what Dehya? I don't know how to pronounce that, but yeah, she looks pretty badass. Like I really love Surumi Island lore. Yes, Surumi Island was really good. Or did I say Surumi Island? I meant Watatsumi Island if I didn't say that. Oh, but yeah, Surumi Island's lore was super good and also depressing. I can't go to that place without getting depressed. The one that gives you divine wisdom, I think. Oh, okay. You really want Sumero to have a dark storyline set up and go through with it. I think it will. I genuinely think it will, especially when Dotori gets involved. We already know he likes child experimentation, so yeah. Sumeru's Beto, probably. I hope not. I mean, I like Beto, but I don't really play her that much. It's Pyro Beto, and I'm all here for it. Beto is such a cool character, though. She really is, but I just don't play her that much. Mostly because I don't have her built properly, but I find it sus how Paimon knew about the seed. Makes me wonder what she knows about Sumero lore. Yeah, Paimon, by the way, speaking of Paimon, pay very close attention to her while we're in Sumero. Just pay attention to her. That's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, it is sus that she knew about the seed. I'm pretty sure that during one of those developer thing, they said Lisa got cursed or something. Yeah, she got cursed and like her life is shortened because of it or something. Yeah. One of my friends were talking about how the Mayor Javari could be part of Sumero or something. That would be interesting. But I had always thought that was going to be like a Mondstadt region. I don't know. But we'll see. It could be like adjoining to, because it does sound like it's more of a, I don't know. I imagine the Mayor Javari as like a molten wasteland, but we'll see. I'm enjoying lore content more than meta. Yeah, I think the lore content is where this game really shines. Even I'm playing Genshin since, yeah, I think the lore content, oh no, lag. All right, we're gonna, oh dear. Okay, the lag is gone, good. Yeah, I think lore content is where Genshin really shines. And it's, at least for me, the most important and interesting aspect of Genshin Impact. Like, if the story was boring, I wouldn't be playing this game, to be honest. But everybody plays for different reasons. Anyway, let's continue. Because we've only gotten, like, a minute in. And I've been streaming for like an hour almost. Okay, let's go.
The withering has been recorded in Sumero for millennia. It's said that it originates from the depths of the world. I'm afraid we rangers will be battling the withering zones here for a long time. Many plans.
Okay, I know I said we were going to continue with it, but we have to stop. Okay, so the withering. Now we are at that part of the video. We've been introduced Uh-oh, lag again? Oh my goodness. Why is it lagging so much? Hold on, give me a second, guys. Let me see if I can fix something. Let me see. YouTube is not... Oh, Jesus. Okay. Well, I don't think I can do anything with that. It's back now? Okay, I'm sorry, y'all. I don't know why it's, like, lagging right now. Lisa only has 5 years left? I hope not. Can we talk about Lisa's half-life? It originated from an interview. Yeah. I have no... They just don't mention it in the game, so we just don't know about... We don't know anything about Lisa, really, in the game. It seems fine, but sometimes lags out of nowhere. Okay. Well, thank you guys for informing me about that. I'm gonna have to make sure... I don't know, for next time, it's not as laggy. But yeah, Lisa's lore is so vague right now in the game. But yes, the Withering and the Withering Zones. We've been getting a lot of Abyss stuff and corrosion-themed things. Like in Enkanomiya, we got that. In the Chasm, we got that. Now for the Withering Zone, we have that. It seems like it all leads back to the Abyss, or some sort of gross things that are coming probably from the Abyss or from the ley lines themselves. So if you remember, the sacred Sakura tree can purify like filth from the land within its roots. Maybe all Irminsul trees have this kind of thing where filth from the ley lines, from the Abyss, from corrosion, from things like that are just being constantly absorbed into the ley lines and everything. And that causes problems somewhere, in some places, like here in the Withering area in Sumero, or in the Chasm, or how when the Abyss Order came and infiltrated Enkanomiya and caused all that corrosive stuff to happen. I think we're only going to see more of these places, and I do think that this Withering place will have something to do with the Abyss. But as for what this corrosive thing or what it actually is, that has something to do with a theory that I have that I'll introduce in part 2, but it has something to do with my idea about Tevat being a realm of consciousness that currently is being operated or being controlled by Istaroth, but also Celestia is also in some control as well, probably. But yeah, I think it's interesting that a lot of things that have to do with corruption and everything. Well, actually, I'm not going to say. I'm going to be quiet about that. About Paimon, though, am I still the only one that noticed when she was super tired in the chasm that when she woke up, you were able to slightly see Conria? When was that? Wait, I want to know. When was that? Could Withering be from Sumero using energy from the ley lines? It might be too. I mean, we have no idea. But when things die and it's usually coming from like the bottomless pit of the earth, like they were trying to say here, like it's coming from the depths of the earth, usually it has something to do with the Abyss. I find it interesting how the Withering isn't a recent thing. Yeah, so I wonder if it has something to do with Rukkhadevata too, or Rukkhadevata too, however you pronounce it, I'm sorry. Because it should have been going on when she was still alive, if it's been going on for millennia, right? So, I have a feeling it has something to do with... Remember I was talking about how the Cataclysm of Conria, that didn't just happen once. And I mean like when Tevat was on its knees, about to be overrun by the Abyss. I think that happened more than once. Back when the Moon Sisters and their tragedy happened, I think there might have been an overrun of the Abyss. We'll talk about it in part 2. But it might have something to do with something that happened during that time period. But who knows? I don't know. But I do think the Abyss is somehow involved. Yes, it's always the Abyss. Hey, Meh. Oh my gosh. Hello, Meh. Welcome to the stream. You woke up late and you missed everything? Nah, don't worry about it. We still have plenty of things to cover. Um, Perhaps the huge thing that happened with Rukkhadevata's death was the withering and how Havria turned everything into salt. Yeah, so it might have been like honest, but the thing is, the withering, it's at least it sounds like it's been happening for millennia, which means at least over 1,000 years. And the Greater Lord died like 500 years ago. So it can't just be related to that. It might have something to do with it. It might have quickened the process, but it sounds like the withering has been around for a very long time. There's a theory that the book Lisa read touched had something to do with the time before Celestia, but again, there really is not much proof for that. Yeah, that's an interesting theory, but again, we don't know shit about Lisa. Like, there's not much lore about her in the game, at least, that they've overtly like told us. So hopefully Sumero will change that. But yeah, there are a lot of possibilities when it comes to her. Like she asked, where were she? And he was able to, yeah. That was in the Yelan and Zhao quest when everyone was trapped in the chasm. Yeah. Maybe the Abyss was some dark magic that was awakened by Conria people. The Abyss is... I think the Abyss has been... It's been around for a long time, and I'm not... I don't want to say... but I think there might be something to do with a dead god, as far as the Abyss is concerned. Onion, will this live stream be available to watch later here on YouTube? Yes, it will be. It will be. And I will probably make a stream highlights video of this. I don't know yet, but we'll see. Do you think Kale might have this seal placed on her undone or otherwise taken advantage of? Okay, so this is actually something I was mulling over the other day, because if you've read the comic, then you know that Sino was involved in sealing away Kale's Archon residue, right? The Archon residue that Dottore injected inside of her. It would be very interesting if this was undone by Dottore himself whenever he shows up. And then you gotta fight Kale or save her. That would be interesting. But I do want to learn more about Archon residue in general, and I think we will here. Like, I'm just excited for Dottore to show up, but it doesn't seem like we're gonna get him for like a couple patches at least. Or maybe he'll show up in the next one. We'll see. We might get a cutscene of him in the 2 Archon quests that are coming out during version 3.0, so who knows? I don't know. What do you think about the Fatui's involvement in the Sumero Archon quest? So it seems like there are 2 different, like, major things happening, right? There's the Abyss Order stuff, and then there's the Fatui stuff. And I don't know, we've been getting a lot of imagery of this tree, this Irminsul tree burning down. So, whatever the Fatui are planning is not good. I talked about earlier as well the whole theory about the dendro slime, how you have to burn a dendro slime to get it to be exposed. It might just be like burning the tree might just be a way to expose Kusanali and get the real dendro archon to come out so they can get the gnosis. But we'll see. Yeah, this 3.0 trailer starts with a voice asking, have you heard of Irminsul before? The oldest chronicles described Irminsul as a tree trunk, and it was later destroyed. Didn't Dottore burn down a tree? Yeah, I don't know what he's actually planning. It's gonna be screwed up. I'm hoping it's like really perverse and disgusting and screwed up because he is a very tormented character. So, yeah, I'm hoping for the worst possible thing to happen. Oh, thank you, Jizo, for the donation. Oh my gosh, thank you. This kind of talk is my cup of tea. Imagine how nostalgic these talks are going to be when Genshin is 5 or 6 years old. Maybe we are not in Tavad anymore by then. Yeah, we'll see. I do want to look back on some of this stuff as well, like you said, when we get to a certain point in the story. Because, like, yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be... Wow, I just want to see how much like the community got right about certain things and how Hoyoverse is gonna like completely surprise us with some stuff. Like, I'm just expecting Sumero to blow us out of the water in terms of lore. I just want so much. There's so much we need to have, and there's so much we deserve to have in this patch update and subsequent patch updates. I want to know more about the fake sky. It's so interesting. Yeah, I think we may learn more. Especially if Scaramouche shows back up and he becomes our friends. We could be like, hey, dude, what'd you mean that one time when you said the stars in the sky are all fake? You want to expand upon that? Because you just kind of dropped that information and pieced the fuck out for like a year. And you have not mentioned it since. So it would be great to learn more about that. Thank you very much. For Sumero, the Archon quests are from 3.0 to 3.2. Right. Yeah, so we've got 3 patches of content. So there's a lot that can happen. No, they were just talking about Kale wanting to move on from the past. Don't do that to her. But I feel like they will, because a lot of people haven't read the comics. So I think that they will present that some elements of her past, they have to. Like, they have to. But I don't know if she's going to go crazy or they're going to unseal her Archon residue. Who knows? I really hope Dottore appears next patch. I'll actually lose it. Yeah. I really want him to. He did call it blasphemy. Yeah, so since that's like an act against anything sacred or godly, yeah, it's gonna be fucked up, whatever he's doing with that tree. Isn't Alice and her organization investigating Irminsul Tree? Yes, they are. The Hexen Circle is investigating Irminsul trees. So I'm hoping she pops up, because it seems like we just miss Alice every time she shows up in the story, which is slightly infuriating, but I'm wondering when we'll actually be able to see her. Yes. Maybe not Alice, but I do wonder if anyone else has connections to them. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I'm just glad Nahida is a child character that is taken seriously and not just a cute mascot and comic relief. Yeah, so I had heard a lot of people were upset that she was like a child character, I think. But yeah, at least they have like specific lore reasons as to why she is. And it's all going to be revealed throughout these 3 Archon quests. So no, but I like Nahida's character design. Also, speaking of her, did you hear that theory about her being like an XP for, or counterpart rather, for Teresa Apocalypse from Honkai Impact? That is such a curious theory. And because Teresa is a clone of Colin Kaslana, who is Otto's love, and you guys know how I feel about Otto and Dainsleif being counterparts of each other, at least partially. And how the Kaslana family is like related to the moon and everything. It's just all very suspicious. It's all very suspicious, y'all. And then Nahida calls herself the moon. It's just very suspicious. Okay. With Skara or Sumeru's knowledge of the stars, I hope we'll learn about the sky or at least something suspicious. Yeah. Please, Scaramouche, come back. Tell us everything. Please. Is Lisa from Sumero? So I don't think she's from Sumero. I just know that she studied there. She might be from there, but I know she just studied there. It's kind of hard to tell who's from Sumero and who's not, because a lot of people go there to go to the academia. Yeah, he says something incredibly important and then just pieces out. It's really unfair. It's really unfair. Lisa studied in Sumero, but I don't think she's from there. Yeah, that's what I think. I need to see Alice. Yes, please. I hope she will have something to be memed on like the 3. Well, yeah, we'll see. Abyss is maybe trying to revive Rukkhadevata, using the Irminsul tree to mechanize her, and Fatui is trying to stop them by burning down the tree. What do you think about that? That would be interesting, because we do know the Abyss is already trying to like mechanize gods, right? They tried to do that thing with Andreas in, what was it? We Will Be Reunited. God, that was such a long time ago. But Yeah, I don't know. That's an interesting idea. They could. Who knows? Honestly, I don't think we are going to see Alice anytime soon. Yeah, probably not. Teresa from Honkai, LOL. And heck, even her... Oh, they are the same. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. So they probably are counterparts. That's very interesting. Teresa is also the principal of St. Freya Academy. Interesting. You heard it from Island. Yeah, I believe Island talked about it. I think Ashikai also talked about it too. The thing I found interesting was Kusanali's elf ears, like Klee and supposedly Alice. So here's a crack theory also that I had on Kusanali. I was low-key like, is she like more like a Seelie kind of creature? Who knows? I have nothing to support this. Just throwing that out there. So don't take that seriously. But I was like, is she like more Seelie-like than anything? I don't know. We don't know what the Seelie used to look like, and they did have humanoid forms, and they were also beings of great wisdom. So, yeah. But anyway, and they also, if you believe what I had to say about them, they also have a connection to the moon. So I don't know. I don't know. This is random, but do you have any advice on how to start researching for lore? Like, how do you know what myths to look at, etc.? So, okay. So a good starting point would be the Genshin Impact wiki. There are good little footnotes sometimes that will be put down there that will tell you where things come from. And then you can just base your research off of that. But then, usually for me, I will look at specific names that they use or specific iterations of names that they use, because a lot of what they use in this game applies to real life. So it's usually based on something. Like, I believe Al Hythman was like a scholar, an actual scholar who used to live. And then Rukkhadevata, again, for mispronouncing that, but sorry. That also has real life connections as well. Like, that's an actual thing. So yeah, the wiki is a godsend, so you can use that. But a lot of the things that the terminology that they use in this game actually has real life, counterparts, inspiration, whatever you want to call it. So usually just look it up and you'll find something. Honestly, I don't think we are going to see Alice anytime soon. Yeah. Oh, wait, I already read that. Even the fifth Harbinger is an elf. Yeah, Pulcinella is an elf too, which is interesting. I'm interested to hear about that race. I don't know. Why would the Abyss do that? Why would the Abyss want to make mechanized gods or something? I have no idea. They're planning a war. That's what I think. Because they want to overturn the gods, so they want as much power as they can get. I think Alice is in Pyro region because Klee has the same ears as the person who was representing the Pyro region, like how Sino did for Sumero. Yeah. So she might, I have no idea where Alice will appear. But I do think she will be playable, at the very least. But not for a very long time. Oh, I meant for Nahida Ella. You know that Venti is a drunkard, Zhongli broke boomer, and A is a shut-in neat. Yeah. It'll be interesting to learn more about Nahida. Imagine Abyss trying to revive former Archon using Leyline memories from the Earman Soul. Interesting. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Speaking of Leyline memories from the Earman Soul, did you guys notice how it seems like the city of Sumero is just like vanishing in the trailer? Yeah, we're gonna talk about that too. Let's continue. Let's continue.
Plants in the rainforest are already in decline. One with the forest. Let's nip that in the bud. It's called an Orchestra Terminal. It's a tool produced by the academia that utilizes the legacy of greater...
First of all, love Tainari. Also, wait, hold on. Why are we on 480p? Honey, we need to be 1080. There we go. So the thing was called an Orchestra Terminal. And it looked like, what did it look like? So there's that weird earpiece thing, but then there's this thing. It's called an Orchestra Terminal. That's interesting. I want to know how this system like works and how they built it and how they were able to use the Gnosis. This is just really curious. Really interesting. I don't know what to think about this system, y'all. I mean, I gave my initial thoughts on it, but I'm so curious to see how it all functions and why it exists in the first place. AirPods, yeah, some nice Bluetooth headphones. Oh my goodness. It is a tool produced by the academia that utilizes the legacy of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. Yeah. Yeah. It's just so curious. So many thoughts. So many thoughts. And if you notice, this girl over here has it too. And he has it too, if you can see that. So I'm assuming the children don't. I mean, the children might have it, but maybe there's like a certain age where you can get it or get access to it. I don't know. But it seems like most people have this thing. Also, I have a question. If this system prevents dreams, or if the people of Sumeru can't dream, does that only apply when they're in Sumeru? Like, if they travel somewhere else, can they dream? Like, does Lisa not dream? Does Dottore not dream? I'm so curious. I have no idea. Well, if they released all-in-one, you know the hype's going to be very, very brief. Oh, wait. That was in response to something. Why must we wait years for Genshin's story to finish? I don't know. I want it all now. I want to go to Celestia now, even though it'll be like a few years before that. You know the Fatui are going to be more active. Yeah. I don't know what the Fatui are planning. It's going to be bad, y'all. It's going to be bad. I think the faction that dislikes Nahida might be working with the Abyss to revive Rukkhadevata. Now that's an interesting idea. That's an interesting idea. They might be doing that. Also, something to point out about the Abyss Order. Remember, they can take the form of humans, right? They can take the form of humans. I wonder. I wonder if one of the people in this, that one sage dude, which we'll get to in a second, I wonder if he's actually like an Abyss Lector in disguise. If they've infiltrated the sages of Sumeru, I don't know. But they might be trying to use the ley lines. Yeah, because Kusanali does say something at the end. Something about forgetting about her. We all know ley lines have something to do with memories, etc., etc. We'll get to that in a second, though. Yeah. Huh. So that's an interesting line of thinking, Tizai. That's an interesting line of thinking. Nah, maybe when they use the Akash system, they can't dream. Yeah. Yeah, so that's what I was thinking, like, it's specifically tied to the system itself. And the ability, or the lack of an ability to dream is tied to that as well. But I don't know. Morax's Gnosis was used to make money. Yeah. And then the Greater Lord's Gnosis was used for cloud storage. Basically. I think only, yeah. Yeah, only the people that are from Sumeru can't dream. Those who studied from Sumeru. Okay, so, I mean, that would make sense too. I assume Hoyo does not have an end to the story yet. I think they know how it's going to end. I genuinely do think they know how they're going to end, because they've been very meticulous about their lore. like really, really meticulous. It shows that they've done a lot of research and a lot of thinking about building this world. So I do think they know what's going to happen. And I also think they've been giving us hints this entire time, but we'll see. Like we never saw the Orchestra Terminal in Lisa. Yeah, so it seems like to access it, you need this little thing. She might have one, for all we know. She just doesn't use it. And like you said, there might be like a limited range. Yes, the world forget me. That's what Kusanali said. Do you think the guy from the trailer is a disguised Abyss Lector or something? He might be. I have no idea, but we'll see. I think that, if anything, it might be like you said, they're just working with the Abyss. Some of the sages, at least, are probably working with the Abyss. But we'll see. So Rukkhadevata was connected to the ley lines the same way as Kusanali. Yeah, it seems like the God of Wisdom, whatever they meant at the beginning of this trailer, because I believe someone did mention earlier that they might have meant the original Archon and not Kusanali, was actually connected to the Irmin Sultry that we see, her consciousness. So yeah, she definitely has some sort of connection to the ley lines. Which would also make sense if she has powers over dreams or whatever, and memories. That would make sense too. If it all leads to a connection to the ley lines, because the ley lines contain the flow of all of that kind of stuff. Wait, why does the Traveler pull out constellations here? Is that their idle animation, or does it have something to do with the Akasha system? Oh, I thought it was just his idle animation. Yeah, I thought it was their idol. Dude, Hoyoverse have confirmed that they have it planned for the next 10 years. Jesus, I hope it doesn't take 10 years. Good lord. I guess the sages hate the Lesser Lord. Some of them do. I think some of them do. Maybe the ley lines denote absolute borders in Tevat, like how the treasure compasses only work in certain regions. So the ley lines themselves mark where the Akasha system, and yeah, maybe. We'll just have to see. But it's seeming like the system does access the ley lines in some fashion. What do you think we will do in the Archon quest? Fix everybody's shit like usual. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna clean up everything for everyone. Because we're the main character. We're the hero of this story. I wonder how much information in the Akasha system is actually the truth. Because many... Yeah. So I think... And that's kind of what I was talking about in my Sumero video. It seems like this system can kind of be abused by the people who are actually in control of it. It goes back to me thinking that there's like maybe a caste system with this Akasha system. But who knows? Who knows? I wonder how... Oh, wait, I already read that. Wait, so since they don't dream, then does that mean the Traveler has it so they can't stop... So they can have... Wait, oh god. So they can stop having nightmares about 500 years ago. I have no idea. Because he was having nightmares, wasn't he, while he was sealed away, right? Before he woke up. But I don't know. Okay, here's a crazy idea. What if Kusanali is a younger, weakened form of Rukkhadevata, just like those immortal jellyfish that go from old to young and vice versa? That's possible. Like I said, I think she's an offshoot of the original Dendro Archon. And I think the parable of the tree is going to parallel Kusanali's story perfectly. Like the whole thing about taking branches and then the new tree spirit being a continuation of the past one. I think that's what's really gonna go on here. But we'll see. What will be the shit that we will fix? We're gonna save the tree, because deforestation is bad. We're gonna stop the Fatui and their evil plans, probably stop the Abyss Order. Get Kusanali to help us out and figure out why the hell she's just letting everything happen, which is also very sus of her. But it kind of makes more sense if she's not really respected by her people, or at least some people, then she might not have as much agency as we think she does. Who knows? 10 years doesn't mean on how long it takes to reach the end game story-wise. 10 years plan here, probably they will keep updating the game until, oh gosh. Yeah, they're going to milk Genshin as much as they can because of how popular it is as well. Potatoes, were they likely created differently by the primordial one who created the other humans, not from the unified civilization? I have no idea. We'll see. It'd be really funny if Kusanali is literally a branch of Ruka. Yeah. It would be interesting. Yeah. Kusanali must be connected to the Irminsul tree because she was born from it. It sounds crazy, but it might be the truth. Yeah. I'm thinking the parable of the tree has a lot to do with Kusanali. As well as other people, don't get me wrong. Again, things are on a loop in this world, so things like this haven't happened just once, probably happened multiple times. But I do think that parable is gonna connect to Kusanali, just like the lower half of the parable connected to the sacred Sakura tree and Istaroth's power about planting seeds and stuff. Who's the character you're sure to pull for? Kusanali. Like, I am 100,000% pulling for her because I want to get all of the Archons. Oh my god. She just stuck a twig in the ground and Kusanali sprung out. I mean, that's kind of how the parable phrases it, but of course, that's all metaphoric and everything. We'll just have to see how it actually works. Hopefully we will in Sumero. Maybe Kusanali really is a weaker form of the past Dendro Archon, but she won't remember that until she fully grows up. No, I think she does. I think she knows. Also, I feel like she's constantly reminded by not just her own people, given that it almost, like I said, it almost seems like her title as Lesser Lord is almost derogatory in a way, at least by some of the people in Sumero. I think she's very aware of where she comes from, I think. Especially with that line, I'm just the moon, the real sun is already gone. I think she knows. It would be better if we actually fail to save the tree and that the Fatui succeed in burning it down. It would make for a better story, in my opinion. That would be interesting. And then they would have to figure out how to move forward. The Akasha system might not even function if the tree is gone. It would be interesting to see if that's the direction they're gonna go. It's just weird that they're saying the previous Dendro Archon disappeared and not died. Yes, it is so strange. But we also have to remember, in terms of Conria, most people don't really know what happened during the Cataclysm. Just like most people didn't know that there were actually 2 Electro Archons, not just one, so there was A and Makoto. Most people probably don't know the truth behind the Cataclysm, but I'm just gonna take a wild guess and say that the Greater Lord probably is actually gone, and Kusanali is just her continuation. But we will see. It's all very confusing. The deep lore is honestly so interesting. I wish sometimes Hoyo would shift the spotlight away from Traveler's point of view. Yeah. Yeah, I wish I do wish we would get more deep lore that's actually explained to people in, like, the main story. I'm glad they're doing it more because before 2.4, I feel like the amount of story relevant things that we actually got in the main story was like super limited. We weren't hearing much about Conria. We weren't hearing much about other things. Except it was like very sporadic when we would actually get information that we cared about. But it seems like they're ramping up how much like really critical information that we need to know, which is a really good thing. and I hope we get more deep lore stuff. The Archon story revolves around saying goodbye, parting with something, Venti with his friend, Zhongli with Liyue, A with Makoto. I wonder who is Kusanali gonna say goodbye to? She might be saying goodbye to the greater Archon, Rukkhadevata. Especially if I believe the I'm sorry if I misremembered your name. I think it was Violent something, was saying that they probably meant the Dendro Archon, the original Dendro Archon. At the beginning of this video when they said her consciousness is tied to the tree. So we might get some sort of similar scenes that we got with A's story quest when she was in a realm of consciousness, Makoto's realm of consciousness specifically. We might get something similar with Kusanali and the Greater Lord. Who knows? I wonder if we get more info about Paimon from Kusanali. I think we will. Not information that we're directly told, but that we can observe. And I'll just leave it at that. Okay, but anyway, let's actually continue. Oh, you gotta go, Spidey? All right, I'll see you later then. Thanks for joining the stream. All right, let's continue with the trailer.
It's called an Akasha Terminal. It's a tool produced by the Academia that utilizes the legacy of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata.
You may use an Akasha Terminal to connect directly to the Akasha and access any knowledge you need.
The Divine Knowledge Capsule should be up for a secret auction within the next few days. Use it, and you'll gain the wisdom of the gods. I need you to find someone, a traveling merchant.
What kind of...
Okay. The Divine Knowledge Capsule, which will show up later. What do you guys think about this? I'm curious. What do you think this thing actually is? It contains knowledge and wisdom of the gods. I have thoughts about it, and I don't think that it's everything that it appears to be. But hold on, I'll read comments before I give. You think it's a glorified USB? Sumero black market, yeah. It looks like the shriveled seed. It does look like the shriveled seed. That thing is the flash disk. So we have to remember that the Akasha system is the way that the academia resources knowledge, right? My thing is this. It makes me wonder how much knowledge they're actually able to access and how much knowledge people are able, what they're able to see with the Akasha system, especially if they have a connection to the Gnosis. So I wonder if people can, like, I don't know, like you said, it's kind of like a USB or like a flash disk. People took certain knowledge from the system, put it in this thing, are presenting it as if it's wisdom of the gods or knowledge from the gods, but I have a feeling it might not actually be that. It might just be, honestly, a freaking, you know, it's like snake oil salesmen, right? Who just sells snake oil and fake cures to people. I have a feeling it's not going to be what they say it's going to be. They just say it's wisdom of the gods. I don't know if it will be. I think it's being sold by a sage without the other's knowledge, probably considering the secret auction part. Black market, yeah. Someone else uses it based on dialogue later in the trailer. Yes, someone does. And it's interesting what we see when we get that dialogue. But then again, like I said, we don't know. The dialogue is disordered sometimes with these trailers, so we don't know if what we're seeing is actually applying to what we're hearing. Do we know if Kusanali is in possession of the Gnosis? The sages are supposedly using the legacy from Rukkhadevata to use the Akasha system. And if they somehow lost it, it could be sold. Yeah, so I don't think that's the actual Gnosis. It doesn't really look like one. But it might be something similar to it, or someone, again, might have put information or knowledge in it from the system, and they're just selling it. But I don't think Kusanali is in possession of the Gnosis. She might not be, because the sages are the ones who made this entire system, which means that they have access to the Gnosis. And it makes sense that they would have the Gnosis, because Kusanali, if she was like just born during the Cataclysm, then the sages would definitely have an opportunity to seize the Gnosis for themselves. So I don't know if she has it. She might, but who knows? My name actually means divine knowledge in Sanskrit. Oh, that's cool. That's part of why I've been so hyped for Sumero, because I might get to see my own name in something for once. That's really cool. More literally, it tends to mean wisdom. That's really cool. I think it would be interesting if the sages are keeping the Gnosis from Kusanali. Yeah, I kind of feel like they might be doing that, but we'll see. Yeah, the disorder they dialogue in the trailer, so we can anticipate it, yet not actually getting too spoiled by the story. Happens many times with previous trailers. Yeah, so that just seems like what they do for trailers. I wonder what would happen if you broke the capsule. I don't know. It also kind of, okay, so I might be crazy for this, but this thing, wait, hold on, let me see if I can find it. This thing kind of also looks like amber or like tree resin. You know what I mean? It kind of looks like resin, like things, you know, that form around, like that fossilize things and things like that. Doesn't it? It kind of looks like either a gem or like amber or like resin or something like that. Like tree resin. But that was just an observation. I don't know. Conventional wisdom holds that divine knowledge cannot be rationally comprehended. Yes. I feel like that's gonna apply to these Archon quests that are coming up. Not just when Dotori appears, but for this as well. The divine knowledge capsule. It looks like nectar, yeah. Or like something else if you were brave. Oh my god. It looks like a flower bud, yeah. There's something inside it, I think. Yeah, that's why I'm like, it looks like tree resin or amber or nectar or something like that. I don't know what to think about this yet, other than what I just said. But let's continue.
There's a secret auction within the next few days. Use it, and you'll gain the wisdom of the gods. I need you to find someone, a traveling merchant.
What kind of products do you seek, my dear customers? Shazam! Here's the goods! It really sounds like something big outside of the city is being hidden on purpose.
Mark my words, our god shall return. All will suffer retribution together.
All right, so a couple interesting things there. Something is being hidden outside of Sumero. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the giant robot thing. And then, like we were talking about earlier, someone is trying to revive, or at least, I don't know, see the greater Archon. And yes, the music is literally bopping. It's really good. But yeah, there's some sort of faction that's trying to revive the original Archon. Do you think that's all Hythman speaking? Yeah, I think he's the one speaking who tells us we need to find Dory. But I don't know. Who knows? Yeah, I think, like we were saying earlier, I think there are people who do not like Kusanali. Yeah. Dory seems similar to Pardo Felis. Definitely didn't pronounce that right, but I know who you're talking about. You're talking about that cat lady from the Flame Chasers, from Honkai, personality-wise. Interesting. But yeah. Oh, this Archon quest is gonna be good. I don't want to overhype myself, but I think it's gonna be a good one. We're gonna learn so much. Anyway, let's continue.
You all saw that just now? The Grand Sage ordered us to stop the performance.
Maybe they see Lesser Lord Kusanali's birth as confirmation of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata's death.
Aren't you ashamed of pursuing such frivolous and meaningless activities in this land of knowledge and reason?
This device, it's extracting energy from the ley line.
It looks like he used the divine knowledge capsule.
The Sub-Zero's festival.
Boss?
Go celebrate the birth of that god.
What's happening? Oh, come on!
Okay. Couple things here. So, first of all, I have no idea what the fuck this machine is right here. It's extracting some sort of energy from the ley lines. And if you notice, Tignari's voice line kind of gets cut off from what it sounds like. Like he didn't finish his sentence. Or does it sound like that to you or no?
It's extracting energy from the ley line.
Like it just seems like an abrupt cutoff. So I don't know what this thing is. Anybody got any ideas? Because I don't. It's using energy from the ley lines. It seems like this might be the area that they showed earlier. You know, with the withering. They showed like a deep little hole in the ground. Like here. Like in the depths of the world. It looks like that's somewhere underground. Like you see this little green part. I don't know what they doing with this, y'all. Maybe it's under the tree. Like under the Irminsul tree. It's possible that the Eremite and the machine are connected. Ooh, okay, so. Yeah, this thing. This ruin machine. And then this part. It almost seems like a machine is like analyzing people. But it's not the machine we see, it's that dude. Right? It's this dude, this Eremite guy. I don't know if this dude is actually like a machine or something. And the voice line that we get says he used the divine capsule, right? It looks like he used the divine knowledge capsule. And then we immediately get
capsule.
The Sub-Zero's festival.
Boss?
Go celebrate the birth of that god.
What's happening? Oh, come on!
This is such a weird thing. It's like he's either a ruined machine. Maybe he was replaced. Again, it goes back to that Abyss Order is infiltrating Sumero. Or it's because it's almost like he's fading between being a Ruin Guard and then being the Eremite dude. Yeah, maybe they're mind linked. Because it seems, I don't know, maybe this is just a glamour. Like him being in a human form is just more of a glamour and he actually is more of a Ruin Guard. Who knows? But this is just really weird. Like, yeah, like it's an imposter or he's possessed or something. I don't know. But it almost seems like he's changing between this Ruin Guard form and then this. I have no idea, but this is such a weird scene. A Dottore experiment. I don't know if it has anything to do with Dottore. It might have more to do with the Abyss Order. Or it could be a Dottore experiment for all we know. I don't know. Is the person speaking about the birth of that god Il Dottore? I didn't notice. Hold on, let's listen to the voice line because I didn't really hear. all too well.
Capsule.
The Sub-Zero's festival.
Boss?
Go celebrate the birth of that god.
What's happening? Oh, come on!
Our Archon created the utopia that is Sumero City.
Wait, hold on. Wait, hold on.
It is being hidden on purpose.
Mark my words, our god shall return. All will suffer retribution together.
You all saw that just now? The Grand Sage ordered us to stop the performance. Maybe they see Lesser Lord Kusanali's birth as confirmation of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata's death.
Aren't you ashamed of pursuing such frivolous and meaningless activities in this land of knowledge and reason?
This device, it's extracting energy from the ley line.
It looks like he used the divine knowledge capsule.
Yeah, I don't think that was his voice. That was somebody else. Maybe they are using the Akasha system to control him. Maybe. I have no idea. This is the first time a glitch happens in Genshin, a glitch like in Honkai universe. Yeah, it seems like this is like mechanical. Like it seems like this is a ruin guard or like a ruin machine. This dude might not be human. That's all I'm gonna say.
Sure.
But anyway, let's continue. We're almost done.
The Sub-Zero's festival.
Boss?
Go celebrate the birth of that god.
What's happening? Oh, come on!
Our Archon created the utopia that is Sumero City for all scholars who sought validity, verity, and truth, while people like you wish to defile it.
It would be too risky to continue the Sub-Zero's festival at this point. I don't want to.
What the hell is this? Also, Flower Crown Ether is so cool. I want that Flower Crown. He probably gets it during the festival. But what is this and where is this? Actually, this looks like that one place that we saw earlier in the trailer. Okay, there's the withering.
It's in the rain.
It looks like that place. You see? They've got the same little structures here. It looks like this place. Nope, too far. Nope, too far. There we go. See? It's got like the little arches. But I wonder where that is. It's like a little dark orb thingy that shoots out energy. I'm so curious to see what this thing is. But yeah, here's the Abyss Lector. So we know the Abyss Order is involved with this shit. I don't know what this is. Hold on. Okay, and then again, ruin stuff. This is like Ruin Guard machinery stuff. So interesting. I'm surprised because I didn't expect like the Abyss Order to take such a leading role in the first part of Sumero. I thought it was going to be the Fatui. But that does make sense though, based on how they've done it before in previous regions. That globe should be Scar. Oh, who knows? I'm actually, speaking of Scar, I'm excited to see what form he's gonna have if we do fight him, which it seems like we're gonna. I'm hoping it's similar to the Raiden Shogun's form. Primordial Egg, that would be interesting. I wonder if it will have anything to do with Sandrone since she's the one who tinkers with ruin machines. It's possible. Who knows? Who knows? We are with a fungi boy. Since Kemiya is not so technological but more biological, I don't think Conria-related mechanics rely only on mech. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what it is, but this is seeming very... Yeah. Wait, I get it. That orb is the Field Tiller core, and the Abyss Lector is using it. Oh, that's an interesting idea. That is interesting, which makes me wonder more, like, like Erica was saying, what are these cores actually made of? Like, since Kemia is more related on life. And it's clear Conria probably embedded that into their mechanics. So I'm wondering if they are using this, because they were trying to get that, what do they call it in the, in We Will Be Reunited? Like, the field tiller eye or something? The eye of the first field tiller or something? They were trying to use that to do something. But Maria, you might be right. This might be what this is. That's interesting. Are those machinations from Conria or from another civilization? No, it looks like they're from Conria, just because the designs match everything that we've seen of Conrian automatons. Like everything. Like this. Ooh, shit. I didn't even realize. Like, look at that. What are they? How did they construct these things? I'm so interested in Conria. Like, just look at that. The eye of the first field tiller. Yeah. Yeah, that's what they called it. The eye of the first field tiller. You can press that or that. Oh, okay. Yes, you're right. Ah! Okay. Yeah. This looks like it's inside the big robot, probably. Yeah, wow. Y'all, I'm so excited to explore. This looks so good. This just looks so good. Weren't the Abyss previously looking for a core from a Ruin Guard too? Yeah. Yep. Now there's a giant Ruin Guard and a corrupted core. But like, again, it makes me wonder what these cores are actually made out of. And here it is again. Here's a shot of it. It looks like it's glowing. Interesting. And then whatever they're doing, by the way, is making shit disappear in Sumero. So, okay, yeah, let's continue.
There's festival at this point. I don't want to get everyone in trouble.
We don't have many more festivals to waste.
Are you really so ignorant? Or are you just living in complete denial?
The world forget.
Okay. Yeah, the music is so good. This music is so good. Who do you think is talking about Traveler's stupidity? I have no idea. That sounded like a sage, because it sounded like they were talking about reviving who I assume to be the deceased Dendro Archon. Who knows? But it was probably like one of the sages who don't like Kusanali. But then again, we don't know who they were talking to or talking about. I'm just, okay, let's unpack this. So whatever the Abyss Order is doing is making shit disappear in Sumero, right? We know this place is related to the Irminsul tree, right? Irminsul trees and the ley lines hold the memories of the world, everything to do with the world, etc., etc. We know that altering them or playing with them can actually affect the past and future, as well as the existence of certain things like the sacred Sakura tree, for example. So we know tampering with the ley lines and with realms of consciousness in tandem, and we know that one of the Archons, either Kusanali or Rukkhadevata's consciousness, or both, are tied to this tree. So I just... And you know what I think about Teyvat being a realm of consciousness? Everything is like the product of imagination. Well, most things. So I wonder if it has something to do with that. Oh, good night, Nick. Thank you for joining the stream. Have a good night. And I wonder that if that's why things are disappearing. I don't know what they're doing with the tree specifically, though. You know what I mean? They're not burning it down. But you can see all these little light things, which I assume to be what's making up the mass that's here. Everything is like vanishing into light. And then we see the tree, and it's glowing. It looks all broken up, just like we were talking about earlier, the tree from Thus Spoke Apocalypse, or the tree that Kevin from Honkai Impact was standing in front of. So it's a mirage. That's interesting. Will all the nations be intact still in the end of the game, or could they just do the same thing with Conria and Sumero? I feel like by the end of the game, we're going to have another cataclysm, essentially. And yeah. But I think everything will be fine in the end. I do think there will be a happy, well, knock on wood, there might be a happy ending for Genshin, but we'll see. I do think all the nations will still be alive and everything, it'll be fine. It's interesting how Hoyoverse decided to make the old Dendro Archons living statues vague, like they went from killed in action to missing. Yeah. We'll just see how they decide to do this, but again, I'm really thinking the original Dendro Archon is gone. Remember the Golden Apple Archipelago? I still haven't finished everything from the Golden Apple. So the Fatui and the Golden Apple event. So I don't know like what the Fatui are actually doing. I do know it's based on dreams at this point, but I don't know like what they were doing with that machine and everything. So Abdullah, what if it's all a dream? The tree absorbs matter to keep itself going. I mean, that would be interesting. This is so much lore. It is so much lore. You really think the tree has the Gnosis? I don't know where the Gnosis... I think the sages have it, if anything. Anyway, one thing is for sure, Nahida is not wanted by the academia. Yeah, at least some people in the academia don't want her. Some very powerful people in the academia do not like her. And it seems that a lot of the events are going to be surrounding Kusanali's birthday. And her birthday was during the Cataclysm, which means we're going to learn more about the Cataclysm, and I can't freaking wait. But, oh, this is going to be so good. Sumero is going to be so good. Oh, the lore. Oh, the lore. Bittersweet, maybe. Yeah, probably bittersweet. This is the first nation that won't have a happy conclusion. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. But I feel bad for this damn tree. Shit, the Abyss Order's trying to kill it or do whatever the fuck. The Fatui are gonna try to burn it down. This poor damn tree. What if they are trying to use the tree's power to morph or like modify Nahida into Rukkhadevata, which causes the tree to get broken as it connects to her? Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know, but it definitely has something to do with whoever's consciousness is tied to this tree, whether that's the Greater Lords, and it might be the Greater Lords, it might be Kusanali, it might be like a shared, I don't fucking know, realm of consciousness that the tree is tied to, kind of like how the sacred Sakura was somewhat tied to Makoto's consciousness and Makoto's realm of consciousness. It has something to do with that. I don't know. Who knows, y'all? Wait, what if they're trying to use the same method the Abyss Order is using to revive Conria to revive the Greater Lord? So I believe someone mentioned it earlier too, like using the ley lines to restore like the memory of her and therefore reviving her in a sense, which they could be doing. That would be interesting if we actually can see that as like a thing the Abyss Order is trying to do. But I don't think it's gonna work. In theory, it should. Like if you have enough memory and power to restore something, excuse me, to restore something, You should be able to do it, even people. But that all depends on how things work in this world. We're probably either going to see the history regarding the tree like a leyline mirage, or maybe we're inside the consciousness of the Dendro Archon since they're connected. Yeah. I definitely think we're going to go into her realm of consciousness. And creating mirages with it, so that means the Dendro Archon, old or new, creates mirages. That would be interesting. That's so true. A's voice line saying if the Traveler was there and the Cataclysm things could have ended up better also adds to us preventing the next Cataclysm. Yeah. And also, I do want to point out, one of the items, the boss drops for the Raiden Shogun fight, talks about ending all calamities with one thought, which is so interesting. And ties even more that it like even puts into more perspective that Tavad is just like a realm of consciousness. But that doesn't mean everything in Tavad is like fake or a product of imagination. Why don't they want their Archon? I think it's just because they don't see her as their god. She's too inexperienced, maybe. She's just like a baby god. She's not very, I don't know. It seems like some of the people held the Greater Lord in such regard. But it sucks for Kusanali. I don't know what they're gonna do with her. Ugh, I don't like this. I love it, but I don't like this. The Great Sage seems to not like her, considering how they canceled the most important aspect of her birthday. Yeah. Yeah, they're definitely, like, trying to do something with her. In one of the scenes, the palace fades away like a mirage. Maybe the reason the people can't dream is because they are living in one. Also, it makes Dane's line make more sense. It's possible. Who knows? I mean, I think that most of everything is imagined anyway, and is probably the product of dreams, along with like other things like elemental energy embedded into the world and things like that. But yeah, I'm not really surprised to see things like vanishing. Just vanishing into thin air. And if this is to be believed, like, you know, that one person who just completely vanished, that would be... You know what they might be doing? Since this looks so much like, again, the tree, the imaginary tree, especially how it was presented in Thus Spoke Apocalypse, and in that video, or in that scenario, Otto was trying to affect time. So maybe that's what they're doing here. Maybe they're trying to affect the flow of time to an extent that, for example, they might be changing something to where Sumero doesn't exist in the world. Kind of like how the sacred Sakura was able to be planted in the past. Well, maybe the reverse thing. Maybe they're trying to get rid of Sumero. I don't fucking know. Maybe they are trying to affect time. Because if you think about it, this also kind of does remind me of when the sacred Sakura tree did get planted and we saw Inazuma and buildings from Inazuma springing out of nothing. And then we saw the tree, etc., etc. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know. This is just crack theories at this point. But maybe they're trying to affect time as well. Maybe they're trying to undo... I don't know, y'all. I don't know. I don't know. But we know the ley lines contain the flow of time. Therefore, Irminsul trees have something to do with time. I don't know. Kusanali is vanishing in a frame. Wait, was that Kusanali? Wait. No, not that. Not that. Not that. that girl who disappears in the city. Was that Kusanali?
At this point, I don't want to get everyone in
Hang
trouble.
on. Ah, wait, I missed her.
There's festival at this point. I don't want to get everyone in trouble.
Oh, that was her. What the hell?
Continue the Sub-Zero's festival at this point. I don't
That
want to get
was
everyone
her.
in trouble.
Motherfucker, damn it.
Continue the Sub-Zero's festival at this point. I don't want to get
I
everyone
will
in
get this. Yep, that's her. That is her. Interesting. I thought it was just a random NPC at first. I did not notice that that was Kusanali. Huh. So we get that. We see the tree breaking up. We see things disappearing. And we get at the end something about her being forgotten. That's why you said we could try time travel, in my opinion. Yeah. Fingers crossed they'll make a CG flashback about the destruction of Conria and the death of Rukadevada and Makoto. Yeah, I hope we do get that. Something. Because all we've been getting is just like Conria destroyed and then the Sustainers weird cube thingies floating out of Conria. That's about all the imagery we've gotten. I hope that changes. Oh, and then Makoto and Makoto dying, A holding her. That's the other imagery we got. The tree and timeline thing. Yeah. Yeah, so now I'm like, I don't know. Maybe they're trying to affect the timeline. Who knows? They did say all will face retribution. Maybe this is the result of their efforts in resurrecting Rukadevada. Yeah, maybe it is. Maybe everybody will vanish. And we gotta save everyone. Why did she disappear? I don't know. But it was like a glitch, right? It wasn't exactly the same way that these buildings and everything are disappearing. But they may be trying to do something with her. That's interesting. What if the Irminsul powers up Traveler in some way via the power of dreams or something similar? I personally think the Traveler needs the help at this point. So we've already seen the Traveler being affected by not necessarily dreams, but by ambitions. That was when all those visions helped him defeat A, essentially, and powered him up. So I wouldn't be surprised to see if he's powered up by dreams. But then again, people in this nation don't dream, so who knows? Watch the whole thing again in 0.25 speed. You notice a lot more. Okay. I don't think we'll do that right now. I may do that later, though. Maybe they are trying to replace the old Archon with Kusanali, like the Sacred Tree. Yes, like the Sakura Tree, sorry. Yeah, we'll see. It's like she's always been in Sumero. Maybe she just teleported away. Venti can teleport. Maybe she can do it too. I don't know. But wow, I did not notice this was Kusanali.
We don't have any more festivals to waste.
Okay, so, So that was Kusanali speaking. We don't have any more festivals to waste. I'm assuming this is in reference to the festival commiserating her birthday, right? But what does that actually mean? We don't have any more festivals to waste. So is there a specific reason they perform this festival? Is it to maintain this Irminsul tree? Is it to maintain something else? Huh. Wait, Venti can teleport? Yeah, he technically did when the first time we meet him. And when Dvalin gets all upset because he notices the Traveler and Paimon are kind of watching them and observing them, Venti like vanishes. So yeah, he can teleport. Remember the 2.0 trailer? There was a part where the Traveler was drowning, but it was never in the game. I doubt everything in this trailer will be in 3.0 as well. You know what? That is a good ass point. They never showed that in the game, where he's like in the water and there's a giant monster. Just straight up wasn't in the game. I'm hoping everything we're seeing here will be in the game, because that's really honestly confusing if they don't put something like that in the game. But I mean, all it means is they just had unused concepts, which is interesting, but I don't know, maybe we'll see that moment from the 2.0 trailer, but I hope everything in this trailer is actually relevant to the Sumero Archon quest. The distortion is interesting. Yeah, the Sub-Zeru's festival. Yes, I know I mispronounced that. Probably just for fun. Yeah, maybe she gets a power up when this festival comes. Maybe she does. Maybe the sage was a lector. Maybe he was. I assume he's the one talking about defiling knowledge and shit. But then again, that's just based on what audio they were playing, which may not be how it presents in the game. But yeah, that blue dude, where you at? Where the blue dude at? We gotta talk about him. Here he is. He might be an Abyss Lector, or maybe not. I don't know. But we know the Abyss Order is involved somehow. And we know that the Abyss Order can also impersonate humans. Just a thought. Those things around the dancer look like the same things we saw with Yae Miko, which is interesting because during Yae Miko's story quest, she was doing something with like everybody's wishes and hopes and dreams. So yeah, you're right. This is very similar.
We don't have many more festivals to waste.
Yeah, it does look like dreams or some sort of magical particle, something. And I'm so intrigued by that line. We don't have any more festivals to waste. Gosh, what does that mean? For me, it's like running against time trying to revive Ruka Devada. Yeah, I mean, that could be the possibility. I don't know. Hey, random off-topic question, but what do you think about the giant broken ruin machines? I'm pretty sure we saw in this trailer that they're doing something with those. We saw the core, or at least what looked like the core of one. We also saw the hand moving. So those things are absolutely massive as well. I can't imagine what Sumero had to go through during the Cataclysm. Because if they had those things to contend with, that's a... Wow, that's super interesting. Sorry, I'm trying to find it. Ooh. Oh, that's just a regular ruin, whatever the fuck you call those. But yeah.
To stop the performance.
Hold on, let me see.
Maybe they see Lesser Lord Kusanali's death.
Boss? Go. Our Archon created the utopia that is Sumero City for all scholars who sought.
Yeah, so is this place. I really think this might be inside the ruin, the gigantic ruin thing that's in the rainforest. I'm wondering if they're going to do anything with the one that's in the desert, because there are two of them. But we'll see. Those machines are straight up inspired from Horizon Zero Dawn. Oh, I have not played those games, so I don't know. But if that man is the Lector, then why does he say our Archon? Abyss don't worship the Archons. Yeah, so that's the other thing. He might not be a Lector. I don't know, but the Abyss Order's somehow involved. But yeah, he might just be one of the ones from the faction of people that want to revive the Dendro Archon for some reason. And for whatever reason cannot accept that Kusanali is the new Dendro Archon. But he looks like a very important person. So who knows? Interesting, and he's got the 8-pointed star on his hat. I don't know who this man is. Oh, on the JP version, Kusanali said something entirely different. She said, "Today, I don't feel it's right to continue the festival." Oh, okay, then that is a completely different connotation. Then never mind. I have no idea what that means then. It just means that maybe they're planning something to happen to her specifically on the festival, which is what it sounds like. 2 hours for a 6-minute video, Pog. Right. Good lord. Not even a 6-minute video, because the rest of this is just like talking about fucking events that we don't really care about, to be honest. Leyline Blossom events and shit like that. But they do talk about the Archon, the artifacts, which is interesting. It also might not be him saying the lines. Yeah, that's true too. See that he does say our Archon. But if he is the lector, that doesn't make sense. Right, but yeah, it might not be him that's saying it, though it might be. So we'll see. We'll just see. We'll just see. Do consider that JP is also a localization. This is true. Chinese is the one we should pay attention to. Right. This is also true. So the Chinese one, whatever they say in the Chinese version, just take that to be the utter and absolute truth. Wait, that's the inside of it? I'm thinking that was the inside of the ruin of one of the giant ruin machines. But we'll see. This definitely is Conria tech. It fits the motif. It has these things. By the way, this is these little writings here. What is it called? Enochian? Enochian. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but basically this is actually a real thing that's called the language of the angels, which is interesting. This stuff is present on like all of the ruin machinery, or most of them. Something to think about for another time, but yeah. But yeah, I think this might be the inside of that machine. Who knows?
Who sought validity, verity, and truth.
There's just a lot going on here, y'all. There's this core thing. Whatever the frick this is. God. I have no idea. God, this region's gonna be so good. This region's gonna be so good. And I feel like there's gonna be a lot of twists and turns. Is it representative of the alphabets, or they got a different rule of reading those scripts? I'm not sure. I do think they do represent like specific letters, but I'm not sure. Did you notice that the shapes on that door with the ruin letters look like humans? Which shapes? Wait, which shapes?
Festivals to waste.
Verity and truth. The Sumero city for all scholars.
So wait, which shapes? These? Like the letters? That's Enochian, I believe. If I'm not mistaken. I think you can even find, I think there's something on the Genshin wiki about it too. So if you want to look that up, that's...
For all scholars.
I'm trying to see. No, the pointy things? Oh, these. They look like people, or like the icons of people? That's interesting. I thought it looked more like what the ruin guards have is like their little eye thingies.
For all scholars.
Like it looks more similar to that. Hold on. You know what I'm talking about? They kind of do look like people, but like what the ruin guards and everything have is like their eyes. Yeah, they look like those icons on public toilets. That's true. They do look like... It looks more like teleport waypoints to me. Yeah. The part where Tignari's line were cut off might be only in the English. The Japanese wasn't cut off. Okay. So it might just be like the English said something more and they just cut off the line there. I don't know. But when it split up, I noticed the shape. Yeah. Yeah, I can see what they're talking about. It does kind of look... Yeah, but see, it looks like the Ruin Guard eye thingies when it's all together. But then when it splits up, I can see what you're talking about. Yeah. But interesting. Who knows? Maybe this is... I don't know what's going on, y'all. Just so much to freaking think about. Trees, and if it is, anyway, it's not Tevat's Latin. Like I said, I think it's Enochian. Though I could be wrong. I think it looks like what's always on Ruin Guards, because Ruin Guards have these things on. If you look at their models, they do have this writing on them. And the letters are like a sentence in each torso. Interesting. It looks like it's just repeating letters too, because they all look the same for each little section. But does it mean anything? I don't know. Could be a machine made by the ancient civilization from the desert. It looks like... I don't know, because Conria's machines are like everywhere, and their machines inhabit ruins, so it's hard to tell, like, what's a creation between... Well, it's actually easy to tell, because Conria Tech has, like, signature looks like this right here. What if they replace the memories of old Archon with memories of Kusanali? Maybe that's why everything started to disappear, because the old Archon created it. Yeah. That could be it, too. I have no idea. It could have something to do with time. It could have something to do with... Well, it's probably related to all these things. Time, consciousness, trees, everything. Things are getting destroyed because of Nilo. Did I pronounce that right? Nilo's dance. I don't know if things are getting destroyed because of her dance. We have, like, everything is probably out of order. I don't know what's going on at what moment. Wait, what is this? What is this thing here? This little machine thing. Hello, Shun. How you doing? Welcome to the stream. The brown color palette of Ruin robots, it's unique to Conria. Yeah. They have a very signature style. At 2 minutes 22 seconds in the video, it says, like, mark my words, our god will return. So it totally shows there's a faction that believes the OG Archon will return. Yeah. What's the validity of Kusanali? How did they know she was the new Archon? Good question. I have no idea. Maybe it's because she looks like her, just in a childlike form. Like I said, maybe she's the offshoot of the original Dendro Archon, so that's how they knew. And that's why they call her Lesser Lord. I don't know. It's crazy that this big machine went from Conria to Sumero. Yeah. Yeah, if you really think about Conria and the cataclysm and just how much devastation they were able to wreak havoc upon the world, it's just crazy. And to know that they had giant-ass machines like this is crazy. I don't even know where did the machine move? Do you know which part of the video that was? The big robot. When did the hand move? It says in the video, remember, the sages picked up the new Archon. Yeah, they mentioned that in the live stream, that they found her and they took her back to Sumero. So, I don't know the details behind that. I'm sure Nahida will tell us that, though. So many interesting things here. Why did the big machine stop in Sumero? Was it going somewhere as its last goal? I don't know. It seems like during the Cataclysm, the Abyss and Conria launched like this massive invasion of Tevat. So maybe it was just meant to go to Sumero, and whoever was there defeated it, like the people of Sumero. Like the Millelith defeated the forces of the Abyss in the chasm. Like Rostam and the other Mondstadt Knights of Favonius defeated and went to go challenge the Abyss. How Venti defeated Valen, etc., etc. Should be at the part where Nilou is dancing. Okay, let me go look. So she starts dancing here.
Our Archon created the utopia that is Sumero City for all scholars who sought validity, verity, and truth, while people like you wish to defile it.
It would be too risky to continue the Sub-Zero's festival at this point.
Yep. Yep, right here. Yeah, so this is the giant ruin machine in the rainforest. I'm pretty sure what we saw here is the inside of it, which is really cool. I hope we do get to go inside. But that's interesting.
I don't want to get...
Wait, I wonder where exactly Connery is located, like it's its own continent. At first, I thought it was subterranean, like it was underground. But I don't know anymore. I don't know anymore. I imagine it's similar to Enkanomiya, but who knows? Could there be a case where someone was not supposed to take... Oh, someone who was not supposed to take the Archon's place takes it? I mean, that's possible, too. Who knows? The seed we got in the chasm... It might be the seed to the new Irminsul tree, which Traveler might grow when the old one gets destroyed. It might restore everything which is disappearing. That's interesting. Who knows? That might be the purpose of that seed. Maybe. Maybe. I'm thinking it might have something to do with a world quest. I don't know. Like I said earlier, it might have something to do with another area that we'll be able to access later. But who knows? Who knows? That's just a thought. Poor girlie trying to do her little dance while the entire apocalypse happens all around them. Right. I'm wondering when this is happening versus like all the other Sumero going to shit things are happening. It's just very difficult to tell. This is very scary. Everything is disintegrating. Yeah, this definitely has something to do with the tree and the Akasha system. Because if imagination and everything is related to shaping reality, and the ley lines are tied to like memories and everything like that, I do think we might see something similar with the sacred Sakura tree, where someone's actions are affecting the timeline. I don't know. After all, if sages wanted power, why would they bring back the Archon? But then who's Kusanali? Yeah. Yeah. It just sounds like they're just people who reject Kusanali as the current Dendro Archon. They might see her as a fake. They might see her as inadequate, inept, too young. Because one guy even mentions, like, go and celebrate, like, what does he say? What does he say?
Together.
Hold on, let me see if I can find it.
You all saw that just now? The Grand Sage ordered us to stop the performance.
Maybe they see Lesser Lord Kusanali's birth as confirmation of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata's death.
Aren't you ashamed of pursuing such frivolous and meaningless activities in this land of knowledge and reason?
This device, it's extracting energy from the ley line.
Sub-Zero's festival.
Boss?
Go celebrate the birth of that god.
Yeah. So he says, go celebrate the birth of that god. The way he talks is just so derogatory. And obviously, it's clearly a reference to Kusanali, most likely. But yeah, he does not consider Kusanali as like the Dendro Archon. Does the rejection of Kusanali fit with Dottore pursuing blasphemy? It might. I don't know how the Fatui's plans link to this, because it seems like this, at least how they're presenting it, it seems like this is lining up more with the Abyss Order. But I don't know. The ley lines seem like a big organism that feeds off the memories of the creatures living on it. I mean, that's a way to think about it. It's just like a storage system from what it seems like that connects everything in the world. It's like neuronic pathways. Neuronic, I don't even know if that's a word, but like neuron pathways of a brain or something that connect. You know what I'm talking about? I don't know. My brain is scattered right now. I'm thinking about way too much right now. Go and celebrate that god's birthday. It's just, yeah, it's so derogatory. Like he just rejects Kusanali. I just noticed some symbolism. There's a bird in a cage sitting there, and I think that's totally intentional. Yeah. Yeah, I saw that bird too. We definitely got a close-up of it for a reason. A bird in a cage. Maybe that is Kusanali. She's in the cage. A cage that the sages have put her in. Yeah. That would be interesting symbolism. Okay, y'all. Oh god, it's been 2 hours and 32 minutes. Yeah, I think I gotta go. I didn't expect to talk about just this for 2 hours. Damn, I didn't even play fucking Genshin. But maybe I can play Mona's stuff tomorrow, actually. How does that sound? Because right now I gotta head out really quick. But thank you for joining. Thank you for joining the live stream. I hope y'all enjoyed talking about this and coming up with ideas and theories and stuff. Sumero is gonna be ridiculous. Also, look at this concept art. Look at this concept art. Look at that. That's just gorgeous. Goodness. I didn't even notice it's been 2 hours. Yeah, I've been rambling this entire time. The best part of playing Genshin is not playing Genshin. That's right. That's right. Thank you for the TED Talk. Thank you for joining. And thank you for helping me come up with theories and stuff. That was just super interesting. Wow. But am I going to keep the live on the channel? I would like to watch it later. Yes, you should be able to find the live stream. It should be on the channel. Should be in uploads. I may or may not move older live streams to the playlist Genshin streams, but that should be at the bottom. If you click on videos on my channel, you should be able to see it. Hold on, here, I'll show you. So yeah, it should be, well, you can see me talking right here, but it should be right here in uploads. Excuse me, and then it should be down here in Genshin streams. Am I planning on making long form content in the future? Like, well, what do you mean by long form? Do you mean like, like an hour-long stream or something like that? Ciao, I don't know. Like an hour-long video like my Harbinger video? I may make long-form content. I don't know if you guys want that, or if you guys are vibing more with like shorter content, like 13-minute videos, 22-minute videos, or like 40-minute videos. I'm not quite sure where the sweet spot is yet. Like the hour-long video for the Fatui. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, it probably won't be like a frequent thing, but definitely I do see probably more of these types of videos in the future. But I'm gonna try to keep them a little bit shorter for now. I don't know. Maybe I'll do a poll. See how you guys, do you want longer content or shorter content? Because I know people prefer one or the other. Yep, you love the long Harbinger video. I'm glad you guys enjoyed that one. You like longer content though, yeah. I'm that way too. I like longer content and I like to just have things playing in the background. It depends on the person, I guess. 20 to 30 minutes is max for my brain to process. Right. Yeah, like a lot, like with theory videos, it can be a lot to digest. So keeping it like shorter and concise, especially like if for the Fanies video, like y'all, I went way off the rails and started talking about things that we will be talking about later in the series. But yeah, I can understand like those kinds of moments being confusing or things like that. So I do want to be cognizant of that and kind of optimize my videos as much as possible in terms of how much information I'm presenting. Sometimes it can't be helped, but yeah. The Persona OST makes me think better, right? It just has like that vibe of like trying to figure out things and looking for clues and stuff, right? It was really cool coming up with things and picking them up. Yeah, and picking them apart. Yes, yes, yes. We will just need to wait for the actual 3.0 patch to prove all these theories either right or wrong. Whatever it is, it was still fun thinking about this stuff. You would be cool with longer form content. Okay. Did I see the cubes at the last shot in the trailer with the tree? Wait, what cubes? Victoria, your Harbinger video was truly one of the best Genshin Theory videos I've ever seen. Oh, that's very flattering. Thank you. That's very flattering. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. Wait, what cubes? All right, now we're going back in here. What cubes? 10 days. Start the countdown. Right, it is 10 days. We got 10 days left. Jesus. Okay. Why is this?
Or are you just living in complete denial?
Oh my god. Miso. Oh my god. Oh dear, I did not even notice these cubes. This is interesting. Also, the scenery is kind of red, right? Kind of like the Cataclysm, right? See how I was saying like time is gonna be involved in this shit? You're right. Oh my gosh. Are those the Sustainers cubes? Are we seeing like a moment when, like from the Cataclysm? Thank you for mentioning that. Whoa, I did not even notice this. Y'all? Oh goodness. Oh gracious. And here I was about to sign off. Okay. Wow. What to think about these cubes. So yeah, I think this will tie back to what we were talking about before, about possibly time is being altered here. This might be a scene from the past that we're seeing right now that is being shown by the Irminsul tree. Whatever the Abyss Order is doing to the tree is causing this shit to happen. Maybe they're trying to turn back time to the Cataclysm to prevent the Greater Lord from dying. Yes. That would be like a good... I really think that's a good theory. Because there's so much implication about turning back time, overriding things that happen in the future. Like I said, with one of the boss drops for the Raiden Shogun puppet, it says like one thought can end all calamity. And if we're able to see something similar to this, like here in Sumero, I think that'll be very interesting for future theories people will make. This honestly might be a scene from the Cataclysm. And that's why we see these cubes. Wow, that's a good catch. It could also just be debris, but these look like cubes, not just like regular debris. Yeah, I don't know. And those cubes are kind of blackened out, right? And I know the Sustainers cubes are black, but they're also like red with those weird eye thingies on them. So I don't know. Wow. Very weird. Totally from the past. That's the Sustainers cubes. I saw the leak. Oh God, don't tell me about leaks. Don't tell me about leaks, though they have the same... Okay, don't tell us about leaks. No leaks, no leaks, no leaks. Please, no leaks. But yes, that's interesting. I want to make my own theory videos, but I'm too lazy. Don't be too lazy. It's worth it. Do it. Do it. Do it. That's why Kusanali said people will forget her. Yeah. Yeah. This is all... Yeah. Seems like that's what they're doing. So let's put this together then. The Abyss Order and the Sages of Sumero, at least some of them, the faction that don't like Kusanali and want to revive Rukkhadevata, are going to use the tree, perhaps to affect time, and overwrite the Greater Lord's death, which will fuck a lot of things up, by the way, which is probably why a lot of the palaces and everything... The palace or whatever the tree thing is here is fading and people might start disappearing. It'll change a lot. It'll change a lot because when you overwrite the timeline, which you use through the ley lines, it's kind of like this, again, the sacred Sakura, just like planting the tree in the past, except now we're seeing something in the past being altered to drastically affect the future in such a profound way. Oh God, the world forget me. The world forget me. Yeah. Bruh, imagine hating your current Archon that much. I feel bad for Kusanali. Right? Right? Gosh, it just sucks. Dang. Wow. That is a good catch. Did not even realize her cubes were there. Okay, y'all. We gotta digest this. But we're gonna reconvene tomorrow. We will be I will be streaming Mona's domain and finishing that up. Hopefully we can finish up like the main story for the Golden Apple Archipelago. I don't know what's after Mona's domain, how much there is left after it, but we will see. And digest everything we talked about today. Go look at other people's theory videos. Go see what other people were saying, and we'll reconvene tomorrow. Yeah, I gotta think on this. There's a lot here. But I will catch y'all tomorrow. Thank you guys for joining. I'm glad y'all enjoyed the live stream if you did. And I'll see you later. Thanks for the comfy stream. It was great. Always hyped for your content. Have a wonderful weekend. Yes, y'all have a wonderful weekend. Not much after Mona's domain, but it's worth it to finish the story. Okay, great. Because we heard Kusanali's voice at the end of Fischl's domain, so I'm wondering what she's going to say at the end of this quest. But thanks, everybody. Love you. I will see y'all tomorrow. Have a good day. I'll probably gonna binge watch your theory videos as I go to sleep. Oh, thank you. Hope you enjoy. Thanks for the stream. Yes, thank you guys. I'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.